I welcome you all to the video lecture on the topic Agricultural Price Policy. In my earlier lecture, while discussing on the topic agricultural development, I explained the issues and problems which are related with agricultural marketing in India. Now, in this present lecture, I am going to talk about the agricultural price policy. The agricultural price policy is a very important policy for the overall price stabilization of the prices of various commodities in the economy, because the prices of agricultural commodity also affects over the prices of industrial goods, because most of the industries use agricultural commodities as raw material. And in the same way, the agricultural prices or the prices of agricultural commodity affects on the income of the farmers and the consumption pattern of all the customers of the economy. So let us try to understand what is the importance of agricultural price policy in the economy and how it is an important and very essential policy for the overall development of agricultural sector. Initially, I will explain some basic introductory part of agricultural price policy. The agricultural price policy is the policy of the government towards agricultural commodities. The policy of the government towards fixing the prices of agricultural commodities. It means, in other words, we can say the interference of the government agency while determining the prices of agricultural commodities. Now the question here arises, what is the need of the intervention of the government while determining the prices of these commodities? Why government or any other public agency intervenes in this matter? That is what the important question is. The policy of agricultural prices is essential because in the Indian economy, in the Indian economic scenario, the prices of agricultural commodities always fluctuates, and these fluctuating prices are harmful for the development of the economy. It will adversely affect over the development of the overall economy, because the fluctuation in the prices of agricultural commodity also creates instability in overall economy, because agricultural prices do affect the prices of industrial goods. Agricultural prices determine the income of the 70% of the population of India. Agricultural prices will affect over the standard of living of the farmers. Therefore, the prices of agricultural commodities and the stabilization of the prices of agricultural commodities is very essential element for the overall development of the economy. Therefore, the government look over into the matter of this particular issue. And another thing is that the stable prices of agricultural commodity will give some incentive to the farmer. The stable price policy for the agricultural commodities in some cases motivate the farmers to do cultivation, to do their occupation and to invest in that particular occupation. Therefore, it is the very important policy which motivates the farmers. At the other side, we can see the income of the cultivators, means the income of the farmer depends upon their prices of the commodities. If prices of agricultural commodities fluctuate, definitely it will create the imbalance of earning income from that particular occupation. The agricultural prices determines the income of the farmers. So when agricultural price fluctuate, the income will also fluctuate. So the farmers will not get at all a fixed amount of income for their produce or for their commodities. Therefore, as far as the standard of living of the farmers is concerned, as far as the guarantee of the fixed income for the farmers is concerned, agricultural price policy plays an important role. At the other side, the consumption of the cultivators also depends upon their income. If they will get a reasonable amount of income, then they will spend the amount for their consumption. It means the consumption pattern of the cultivators also depends upon this price policy. As the producer, means farmer, and customers of agricultural produce, both of them will get affected by agricultural price policy. As a producer, the farmer will get a proper income or a determined income if agricultural price policy is determined. In the At the other side, in the market, the customers, they do purchase agricultural commodities. In the developing country like India, customer do spend the maximum amount of their income for the food grains. They also spend, apart from food grains, they used to spend their certain proportion of their income for vegetables, fruits, and other related commodities. So bulk of the income, the maximum amount of the income, the customers do average individual do spend for purchasing agricultural produce. So fluctuating agricultural price also disturbs the consumption pattern of the general customer of our country. And therefore, in order to satisfy these consumers, in order to satisfy the farmer cultivators, and in order to provide a guarantee of reasonable income to the farmer, the agricultural price policy plays a very important role. So therefore, the government intervenes to determine the prices of agricultural commodity, and this particular policy of the government is known as agricultural price policy. This is what the introductory part of the topic on agricultural price policy. Now we will see what are the reasons behind fluctuating the prices of agricultural commodities. What are the reasons why the prices of agricultural commodities do fluctuate continuously in the market? Let us try to understand this particular reason with the help of 8 points. The very first point is the seasonal nature of agriculture is responsible for price fluctuation. Seasonal nature of agriculture means during the peak season, the supply of agricultural commodities increases in the market. And in this peak season, when supply increases, automatically the price of those commodities will fall. And at the other end, during the off season, the supply of agricultural commodities will reduce, and the reduction in the supply will create the scarcity of those goods, and due to the scarcity prices will start increasing. Therefore, this seasonal nature of agriculture means peak season and off season, due to the increasing supply and reducing supply, the prices of agricultural commodities fluctuate continuously in Indian agricultural sector. This is the very first reason of price fluctuation of agricultural commodities. The second reason is natural conditions. Natural conditions means due to the changes in the natural environment or nature, the supply of agricultural produce will vary or will change. As usual, the Indian agricultural sector depends upon the gamble of monsoon. Sometimes a good rain, a good monsoon, a suitable natural environment create a suitable environment for the cultivation, and as a result of good monsoon, the production of agricultural commodities increases, and when this production increase, price will fall, because increasing production increases the supply in the market, and increasing supply will fall the prices. And during the drought or some natural calamities, this adverse effect of nature will create a scarcity of agricultural commodities in the market, and as a result of the scarcity of the commodities, the price will increase. So this natural condition, sometime good monsoon, at the other time floods or over rain, floods, drought, these are the another factors, natural factors, due to which the scarcity of the commodities will occur in the market, and therefore the prices will fall. So in this way, the natural conditions also responsible for the fluctuation of prices of agricultural commodities. The next reason is lack of transportation or irregularity in the transportation facilities. It also creates fluctuation in the prices. This is the factor responsible for creating fluctuation in the prices, because the prices of the most of the commodities depends upon the transportation. Most of the times, because of the lack of transportation facilities, the farmer do sell their agricultural commodities or agricultural produce in the local market itself at the lower price, or whenever the farmers gets the transportation facility, then they will supply those commodities to the various markets, and due to the increasing supply, the price will affect, the price will fall. At the other hand, at the time of the shortage of the transportation facility or lack of transportation for facility, will create scarcity of the commodities, scarcity of agricultural goods at the national market. And in case of India, there is a poor transportation facility, and this poor transportation facility will not be able to supply the agricultural produce to all the markets at the suitable time period. So therefore, due to these interruptions in the transportation facility, the prices of agricultural commodity fluctuate. Sometimes it increases and sometimes it declines. Next reason is inadequate capital. Inadequate capital with the farmers, or capital inadequacy with the farmers, is also responsible for price fluctuations, because due to the lack of capital, the farmers, they don't have their own transportation facilities, the farmers can't develop their own warehousing facilities or godown facilities, and because of the lack of transportation, lack of storage facilities with the farmer immediately supply their agricultural produce to the markets, to the towards the rural areas, towards the urban areas. So therefore the supply of the commodities increases during the peak season, and at the time they will not get the appropriate prices for the commodity. During the peak season, the farmers are not in a position to earn the higher prices because of the increasing supply. Why they do supply these commodities immediately? Why they don't store that commodities for certain time period? Because of the lack of capital, they are not in a position to store that agricultural commodities for certain time period. Therefore, inadequate capital is also responsible for the fluctuation of prices. The next point is defective cropping pattern. Defective cropping pattern means the pattern of cropping is defective. It means all the farmers of the same village will not do any type of planning for the production of agricultural goods, for agricultural commodities. At the state level, at the national level, there is no planning for determining the pattern of crops. If someone producing wheat, then another second farmer will produce the same, third farmer will produce the same, and we don't know, and we don't calculate how many of the farmers producing the same commodity. At the central and at the state level, there is no planning of the allotment of the job or allotment of the task to the various farmers. We don't predict which farmer will, what type of commodities the farmers will produce. The farmers will produce, will cultivate their agriculture as per their own wills. Sometimes due to this defective cropping pattern, sometimes the supply of a specific commodity will increase in the market, because all the farmers, when all the farmers do cultivate the same commodity, they will produce the same commodity without any planning. Then what happens in the market? The supply of that particular commodity increases, and due to this defective pattern, sometimes the supply of that particular commodity increases, and due to this defective pattern, sometimes the supply of the commodities will decline. So it will create fluctuations in the prices. The next is defective system of agricultural marketing. In Indian agricultural sector, the middleman plays an important role for buying and selling of agricultural produce, and this middleman will earn the margin as their profit, will earn the margin out of this transaction of buying and selling of agricultural produce. So therefore, whenever the price fluctuation occurs, the benefit will be transferred to these middlemen. So this defective system of agricultural marketing also creates fluctuation of prices in the agricultural market. The next point is development of agro-based industries. The development of agro-based industries is also responsible for the fluctuation of prices, because through the demand for the raw material, they do make effect on the prices of agricultural commodities. Whenever the industry demands the agricultural produce for raw material, price increases. Whenever these agricultural or agro-based industries stop demanding these commodities, price declines. So it depends upon the development of agro-based industries. Increasing number of agro-based industries will increase the prices of agricultural produce, or sick agro-based industries or inefficient agro-based industries will decline the demand for the agricultural produce, and it will reduce the prices of the commodities. So it depends upon, means agricultural prices depends upon the development of agro-based industries. And the last point is unorganized market system is also responsible for the fluctuation of the prices of agricultural commodities. Unorganized market system means the farmers are not organized, particularly landless laborers, small farmers, marginal farmers, they are not organized at all. And due to this reason, they have not created any organized type of market for agricultural commodities. And this is the one of the reasons of fluctuation of prices of agricultural commodities. In this way, these are some of the reasons of price fluctuation.